Cody Payne.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Trucking On.
Yeah, no, we've got here, jumped on, and rock and roll, and good to be back. Always good to see, obviously.
You reminded me, I think you were my first video episode.
Yeah.
With the great Logan Harris.
You've done a great job.
In the realm.
He's done a fantastic job for you.
I took a break and just did audio for a while, and then I tried to record it myself for a while, and now Logan's back. Having his vibe here is an important part of the show, I've found.
Well, yeah, having someone that understands it all, that can edit it, chop it, tell you what sounds good and bad, that's good, because, I do a lot of video editing myself, and it can be very frustrating when you're working on stuff, and it can be very time consuming as well. Like the video editing stuff is very time consuming and very tedious. And so, whenever you're mixing stuff with other people and whatnot, it can be a little tough, but yeah, you got a good setup.
You do all of your own editing, right?
For the most part. Yeah.
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 And you have made some Ward Richmond music videos that you star in.
So yeah. And actually that's what I was going to talk to you about today. I've had so many ideas. So that was the first one that I've ever done. Was when I can, because we just wanted to try, because I had some extra footage from a little short film that we had shot, and I was like, you know what, let's do something creative. So I got with Michael at the office, and so we wanted to capture some more footage that could go with the song.
Yeah,
right. Because if you see the movie, it wouldn't go with it. It'd just be two different things going on. And so ever since then, we'll be riding around to appointments or stuff like that. And we're like, we've already got so many ideas for the next one. So I think I told you I'd love to do another one with you. We've actually talked to Mercer about doing one on his. And so it's something that we've never done before. And so
like one of his tunes that his band's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good idea.
And so, because as you know, I've done acting for a long time. I've done plenty of I do a lot of short films for people and things of that nature. And so this is something that we can do, and we can do it all in house and kind of have fun with it.
Yeah, that's cool. I'd love to do like a proper music video.
Oh, I think it'd be great. Yeah. Next time you're at one of your concerts, I think you've been doing quite a few out here at one of these places. I can come out, bring my stuff. We can shoot something, and then I can also shoot some side stuff and just collide it and make it look really cool. And I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I'm telling you, that's how, if you're looking to get bigger and better, I always think is you want to be like super creative, right? Where you kind of have that little thing where somebody thinks of you, or they see this and they think of you. And so I think if you can have something like that, and that's why, in our business, we always try to make cool posts, cool videos, things of that nature. And so I always want people to think when they see a small bay industrial park, something like that, they think of me, right? And so how do we do that? And so I think with music, it can be the same thing, right? If you got a really cool video, it could be a shit song, but the video can be cool, right?
What are you trying to say?
No, I'm not saying your songs are shit or anything like that. I'm just saying, you can have stuff just kind of like a movie, right?
Yeah.
It can be a total shit. If you go back and watch an old school Steven Seagal movie, you're like, God, this is the worst acting I've ever seen. But back then, the action was next level.
You kind of have Steven Seagal vibes.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I was raised on Steven Seagal.
You're dressed like him right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's all my dad had us watching when we were kids. Steven Seagal.
Did you ever have a ponytail?
No, he wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should just grow a ponytail out.
I don't have the hairline that I used to, so I think it would actually probably look bad, because now I've kind of got the 5 head. But back whenever I had a better hairline,
I have a 5 head.
I just don't know if the ponytail looks so good anymore. I
have a friend that just got hair transplants, and he got rid of his receding hairline. Yeah. And he has he has a hairline of a 17-year-old.
Is it too perfect?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's usually how any hair transplant that I've ever seen, it just looks way too perfect.
My doctor, Brian Rudman, who's been on this podcast, he does that as a service at Formula Wellness, his business, and he did it there. And I noticed I had my physical yesterday, and I was checking his hair out because I knew that he had done it, and I'd just seen my friends, and I was like, okay, Captain Obvious over here.
Yeah.
But with him, he did a good job where it looks way more natural. Like he still has some recession and it just like is filled in a little bit.
Yeah, you want it to look like you put sod down. You don't want it to look like perfect AstroTurf at,
That's
40 or
right.
50 years old. And so that's why I've never done it. Plus, I always said once it gets to a certain point, I'll just shave it all off at some point.
What are your thoughts on plastic surgery?
I don't really care for it. I don't have any thoughts for it. If somebody wants it, they want it. And, if they need help with, imagery or, what they think they should look like, I think go for it. I mean,
To each their own?
yeah, because I take peptides. I take all sorts of stuff as well. So,
What are you on?
I take BPC 157, DHEA, 25 milligrams of that. And then I've taken Smorlin and Epimorlin, and I've taken 5-amino and others as well.
So I was talking to my doctor yesterday. Actually, when we shot our podcast a couple of years ago, I was on testosterone and tesamorelin, and I was ripped.
I remember you were.
I was the most ripped.
I'm not saying you're not now, but I remember when you opened the door, that was like the first thing I said was, man, you've been working out a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I was working out really hard and using the peptides.
Yeah.
And it was great, but I just got sick of like sticking myself all the time. And I mean, it's costly. It costs like, I think it's like testosterone's like $150 a month or something, but the tesamorelin is like 600.
Peptides are
$600 a month or something. Yeah. And I thought about it yesterday because I got back, like I do like real extensive labs for my physical because my doctor's badass and he does all kinds of like epigenetic testing and all of this stuff. But my testosterone level, I think it was at like 250.
That's pretty low.
That's low,
for as active as you are. Yeah.
He said it's low, and I don't feel like it's low though.
Yeah, mine's around that.
I just played a show Saturday night.
Did you?
I was approached by a young lady after the show.
Yeah, looking for directions somewhere? Or?
Looking for directions. She invited me to go to a bar after the show.
Yeah.
And if only it were my younger self, he would have been all about it. But I'm a clean living man now. And so I said no, but I felt the testosterone and it's there.
Did
so
you?
It might say it's low on the test, but I had to like seriously talk myself off of that cliff from going out honky tonking with, a young lady who I had just encountered at the show.
No, and I think testosterone is kind of like blood pressure. Like I feel like I can actively raise and lower my blood pressure, and I think that's also because I've dealt with anxiety and panic attacks for 20 years, which that can, that throws it all over the place as well. And so, but I think testosterone is the same way because I think you can always tell in certain situations that you're feeling a little more active, a little more whatnot. But man, I tried testosterone and it just hurt my knees too much. I couldn't take it. So I just rely on the peptides and feeling good.
Yeah. So I'm debating and I kind of walked away. Like I do kind of miss like the veins popping out of my biceps, which occurred, but I feel really good about like what shape I'm in right now, and like I look in the mirror and like, I can always like lose a little off my gut, but in general, I do yoga and I have like lean muscle mass and I feel good. Actually, when I was doing all that stuff, I was lifting weights way harder. I just do like push-ups now and things like that and more yoga type stuff. But back then I was lifting weights, but I was really sore and I was tearing up my body quite a bit from overdoing it probably in the weight room.
Yeah.
And even though it like looked really good, I feel better now. So who knows?
Yeah. So I
like being all natural. I'm on nothing right now, like no supplements or anything.
What's interesting is, did you ever, I know you've battled anxiety, did you ever take an Effexor or anything like that, SSRI or SNRI, anxiety drug or anything?
Oh, I took, when I was in rehab, they gave me gabapentin. Now I took Xanax before, but more
similar,
recreationally, Xanax. And then I took gabapentin, which is like a non-addictive version of Xanax.
Okay.
And anyway, That's the extent of it. And I got off of all of that though.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to be off the, those types of any kind type of drugs really.
So I took a Fexer for probably 17, 18 years, and I got off of it about a month ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because, when you get off that stuff after being on it for so long, it's very difficult, right? And
You've modified your brain chemistry by being on it.
Oh, for 17 years. Yeah, I'm sure. And so you deal with the withdrawals that they never sell you on when they give it to you. They don't say, hey, when you get on this, it's going to be very difficult to get off of. And so I finally have gotten off all that. I mean, obviously still deal with withdrawals. You deal with that for a long time.
Did you just go cold turkey or
So I weaned off a little bit, but then I just went cold turkey. When my son was born, we went to the doctor and they're like, hey, he's ready to go now. So we just went straight to the hospital. So I didn't have anything on me. So I spent several days there without it. And so I just said, well, let's just keep riding this train and see if I can overcome it. And you deal with the brain zaps, you deal with all the hot flashes, and the stuff that messes with your mind a little bit, thoughts. But 30 days in, I mean, it's still a little rough, but you can tell you're starting to feel kind of how you really haven't felt in a long time. And the reason I got on that stuff is because I think I was younger, getting into a business that, had a lot of people that were obviously very wealthy. I put a lot of pressure on myself, I always have. And, I think there's just a lot of reasons why I ended up going on it, because you're having panic attacks all the time. You want to get that fixed. You don't want to be in a meeting telling everybody to call an ambulance. I need to go to the hospital because I'm having a heart attack at 21 years old. And so, but anyways, got off of it, but man, no, I still love the peptides. I like those.
Do you feel like you're doing good though? Or are you managing the anxiety well without it?
No, not at all. But no, I mean, it takes time. Like the withdrawal symptoms from that stuff is very, very tough. Very severe.
Describe them.
So have you ever had, one thing that a lot of people have is something called brain zaps. Have you ever had that? It almost feels like electricity bolts going from this side to this. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like a electrical bolts going from each side of your head. And so I'm sure people probably look at you a little funny because you'll just be sitting there and just out of nowhere you'll just do this. Like that.
Okay.
And so you get little brain zaps. You get heat flashes. Your body, like probably the past 30 days has felt like I've drank 30 Red Bulls.
Really?
Yeah. Like you're just overamped.
Do you practice yoga?
No.
Dude.
No.
Try it.
Well, I did karate for a long time, and so I'll still dab in that a little bit at
I
the
feel like
house,
karate is different though than yoga.
It is. It's a little more manly, maybe.
It depends.
I'm just kidding. I just know because you're a yoga guy. I was just messing with you.
I know. Oh, I mean, my cousins give me so much shit. Like they're from Brownwood, and my cousin Jake calls it yogurt. He goes like, "Are you doing yogurt?"
Yeah.
And just give me so much shit. But I'm like, I feel
who can do the splits and who can't, cousin?
My anxiety is. I used to have anxiety. I didn't really know I had anxiety because I just started drinking as soon as I became an adult, and that alleviated it until
that's
it didn't.
That's what my uncle did. He battled it, and that's how he fought it.
It was a
alcohol.
wonder drug for my anxiety, and it just went away, and I can go to happy hours and functions and all of these things and like just feel fine as long as I have a drink in my hand. And it's been like a 10-year journey since I stopped drinking. Yeah, it's not like I took a year off in the last 10 years, and I drank 1 year out of the last 10 years. But I feel like I actually needed to do that one more time. And then since I quit that time, now is like a decade is the first time I felt like, okay, like I think my anxiety is pretty damn good, but I give yoga and meditation all the credit. Do you meditate?
No.
Dude, do those two things. Like I'll give you some tricks, but like the Headspace app, you can just meditate for 10 minutes in the morning and at night. And it teaches you how. That's how I started. And now, man, I meditate for hours a day. I get up super early. I read, then I meditate for a solid 45 minutes. And, but I'll do it throughout the day. And it's kind of like the sauna and cold plunge. They're similar because they're very meditative things, because you can't get in the cold plunge and be worrying about things because you're just thinking about the cold.
Yeah.
It shuts your brain off. So if you think
Which
about,
I still do every day.
yeah,
And that helps out quite a bit.
for sure. Like I think that's great. And then the yoga meditation, it's just like, man, I think they created that. It's ancient. They're both ancient art forms, right? And practices that were created to alleviate anxiety and stress from human beings. And I mean, yoga also is good for the body. So, and like all your organs and everything, because you're stretching everything out, and it's cardiovascular and muscular, but it's just different. It's totally different energy. I've never done karate except for maybe like a year when I was a kid. But it's a different energy from exercising, like in a gym and lifting weights, which also can alleviate anxiety. Yeah. But it's super grounding to do those things, meditation and yoga. I found it helps with my anxiety at least. So.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things like that. Because, grounding is one thing, because, when you're doing it and you're actually on the ground and touching the earth. There's a lot of things that, I do that helps me on the anxiety side. Some of it's like breathing techniques, things that, or certain things, not eating certain foods, staying away from everything. I don't drink any caffeine whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so I have to stay away from that, because even when
you like it?
No, I love it. I mean,
you love coffee?
I love like the taste of a Dr. Pepper, my wife, she'll have one and I'll just take a swig and you're just like, oh.
I love a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, it's so good. But see, I can't have it because it will literally just way over amp me, give me the jitters. And so I haven't been able to have, like a full can of Dr. Pepper in like over 10 years, and so.
You ever been into nicotine?
No.
That's something else I use.
Unfortunately.
I don't know if that is good for anxiety or bad, but I like it.
I will tell you, so, I was able to, I always drank alcohol, my, entire adult life. But one thing that I found out when I actually got off that medication 30 days ago, I can't drink it. It kind of messes with you a little bit and just cranks up the jitters a little bit.
It does.
And so, but I used to use that to bring them down a little bit. And so, because I had even taken time off a long time ago. And then, like you said, then you tried it again for a year, and like that's what happened to me. And then I tried it, I had a few drinks one night and I was like, oh, daddy's back, and so I enjoy it. I don't go overboard or anything like that, but I do like tequila. But yeah, I have to moderate myself quite a bit. And so that's the only unfortunate thing, because there's a lot of foods and stuff that I do like that I can barely have. Otherwise, it could crank up my anxiety a little bit. It's the weirdest thing. I feel like God gifted me with a highly sensitive body, and so. But it's also a good thing, because I am I'm very I regulate myself quite a bit. Like I do and eat the same things.
You're super disciplined.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I have to be. Otherwise, I'll feel like I'm freaking out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the tattoo on my arm, Discipline and Freedom. It's the Jocko Willink wrote a book called Discipline Equals Freedom.
Yeah.
And it's a great paradox that like you think of freedom as not having to be disciplined maybe, but actually like the discipline and all of these things, like, I do them just because. And then the more you start living this disciplined lifestyle, then I think the more sensitive you become to things like a one-night stand, for instance, which I just, may or may not have had the opportunity to do, but I didn't. I said no, like before it even came to a fork in the road where that was even really a possibility. But it was kind of like a door was opening, and I was like, should I go down this path? No, because a one-night stand used to be my number one goal in life. And now I know how that makes me feel because I experienced enough of it. And I used to do it in unconscious state almost, like, and it was some kind of like dopamine hits that I would get, and I liked it. But then
it's just temporary happiness.
Suddenly I realized this actually leads to chaos in my life, not peace. So now when I got in that situation, the road to the Lakewood Landing is chaos for me. Like, I want to live the road of peace. And so I went home, and it wasn't an easy decision. And I'm just like saying, like, who even knows if I had that big of a chance with her, but I had to make a decision. Like, am I going to go like pursue this or not? Like, the same thing with Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper, but for me, it's not the caffeine. Caffeine doesn't really bother me, but sugar does. And if I have this, I don't want to drink Diet Dr. Pepper because it tastes like shit.
It tastes like crap.
But if I have a real Dr. Pepper, that's so much sugar. Like, I'm not going to like start drinking Dr. Pepper every day. But what I will do is I'll start craving other sugary things that I prefer, like Susie cakes and like cookies, and
crumble cookie or
then
something.
all of a sudden, then I'm just like getting puffy.
Then you're really grounded.
It's not good. But I wasn't sensitive, and I think part of it's with age, and then part of it's with like an elevated level of consciousness around my behavior and wanting to feel in a state of peace. And then when something is disrupting my peace now, I'm pretty quick to pinpoint it. It's not like I'm walking around a ball of anxiety. I'm like, this is causing me anxiety because I live a peaceful life, and this is fucking with it. And that might be diet, exercise, sleep,
something at work,
people I encounter. And then what I try to do is, because I'm like less of a masochist than I used to be, is figure out how to remove that thing that's causing me that unease in my life from my life, to the best of my ability that I can. And if it's somebody, let's just say a family member as an example that you're connected with, then you just have to create, I have to create boundaries. Like, okay, I'm not going to talk about this subject around this person or whatever, or I'm not going to go see them 12 times a year, maybe just at Christmas, like something like that. But just kind of avoid it. And then I mentioned this to you the other day, like another move that I will do to people like this is I will be extra nice to them too. And I don't know if that ever works, but I might send like a little note, like, happy birthday. I hope you're having a great day. Even though they fucking drive me crazy. Because I'm like, just be good vibing, Yeah. And instead of, because I don't think it's also can lead to chaos on the other side. Sometimes like just being a total dick and cutting someone off. Like, I don't think that's the answer in life either. There's a delicate balance with the people side of that, with the food and like eating shitty food side. Like that becomes clear. And I'm doing 75 hard right now. I'm on day 48.
I commend you for it, because I think I got to day 2 when I tried it.
Yeah, I feel really good because of it. And I just quit fried foods, pizza, and sugar, sweets, and those things. And you can't drink, but I already don't drink, so that's kind of easy. And then doing 2 45-minute workouts a day. And that might just be a walk with my dog for 45 minutes, but it's consecutive 45-minute walk, whereas before I was doing 75 hard, it was a 10-minute walk, especially in the summertime. And now these things, like these discipline, I don't want to quit it really. I want to just keep living this way because it feels good. And then, man, those things that get you, that's just a sign of your discipline and your elevated state of consciousness. I think that where you're starting to really realize this is not good and I better not do it.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, with me, people can still really get to me, and especially in, business and life. And I was actually talking to, I think a mutual friend of ours, Will Narduzzi, about it the other day. And, one thing that I think we've gotten a lot better about is certain, clients and people that we work with, there's certain people that can just wear you out, and the money can be great, but at what cost is it? And so, I've gotten much better about not doing business with certain people. And, if you get a certain vibe from that person going into it, just kind of always trust your gut. And, if they don't see your value, you don't need to consistently work for their approval or whatever that you think is needed, because at the end of the day, you're not here to change somebody, especially during a transaction. That's not our job, is to, make somebody a nicer person. And so, that's one thing that I feel that I've gotten a lot better about is being a little more pickier and choosier of who we work with, even if it costs us money, because I think at the end of the day, it costs me a lot more peace than anything, which is not what I need going back home and, staying up late at night thinking about this or that, or something that I think maybe somebody did wrong, or maybe somebody doing me wrong. I don't have that victim mentality, but I also don't like things to consistently stay in my mind that's not a part of my close circle, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
Totally. Do you have any clients that really like to be entertained?
When you say entertain, like for us to take them out and things? Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't either. Yeah. We'll take them to dinner.
I know people that like that, and you can see people that expect that and want that.
That's like a whole genre of clients out there where they want to be wined and dined and entertained constantly.
Milk brokers.
Yeah,
to the bone too.
And that seems I'm not that kind of person, especially now that I don't drink. But even when I did drink, I was still let's do really incredible work for our clients and bust our asses for them. And then maybe go have dinner a couple times a year to celebrate, if we're working with them all year. But that's fine. But to make it this party relationship or something, make it about that. It feels really ingenuine to me in a way, where I think there's just a line,
Well, and I like to keep, I've got several friends that are people we do business with, but I try to keep that very distant and make it more professional than anything. I don't want to be spending my, nights and evenings, taking, clients out or whatnot. I've got a very close group of people that I hang out with on a regular basis. Several of them are guys that that I work with out of our office and our team. We've been together a long time. I've got my wife. I've got a couple others, and that is it. And,
your kid?
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. I always forget about him. But he doesn't bring a lot to society yet. So he just kind of sits there and shits his pants all day. And so,
how old is he?
1 month.
Yeah, congratulations.
So thank you. And so he's doing good. Mama's doing good. And so that's,
what's his name?
Everett.
Oh yeah.
So it's my middle name.
Okay.
And Everett Theodore Payne. We're very excited about him. We've got a lot of big plans for him. I'm gonna make him a movie star.
Oh yeah, and I bet you will. Yeah. You're gonna get him a YouTube channel.
We will, yeah.
Wow, I can see that.
but I carry a very close circle, and I don't have a lot of friends. I really don't, and just a very few, and that's more than enough because they're very good. And so, Austin out of my office, I don't know if you know him too well, but he's been a good friend of mine for a long time. We've worked together, multiple firms, been around. We hang out in the evenings and on the weekends, and so. But yeah, as far as clients go, no, I keep it pretty professional, and we try not to do dinners and stuff like that, which is unfortunate because I know a lot of people like that, and closing dinners are fun, and we will do this every now and then, but we're pretty, or at least me for the most part. I like to, when I leave work, I go home and I stay home.
Yeah. Yep. I like that. I do value the dinners from time to time, but just the overdoing it or making that your lifestyle of constantly being out and working every night of the week.
Your value should be your work. Yeah. Your value should be your job and what you bring to the table, not how much fun you can be outside of your actual job. And that's my opinion, because, like I said, I'm so regimented. Every Friday night, me and my wife go to the same restaurant every Friday night. and so I don't trade
What
those
restaurant?
nights. There's a little place out there just outside of Fort Worth in Willow Park called Drake's Yoke. We're literally there every Friday, 5:30. And
I love a 5:30 dinner.
oh yeah, well that's how regimented I am too. And she complained about it when we first got together, eating so early. She's like, "You're eating with the old crowd," and I'm like, "Well, we'll catch up one day. I promise you that." And so, but we're there every day. And what's funny is there's so many people that know that we go there that sometimes people will show up to eat with us. And so I think that's kind of cool.
That's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
I love traditions like that. That's nice.
Yeah. And so we enjoy it. But no, we're very results driven in our office, a lot more than anything else. And so, we only wish for one thing, and that's results.
I like that. How is the market doing right now in the world of industrial investment sales?
I'll tell you, the big box stuff I can't tell you, but the small bay that we specialize in, I think we have carved such a good niche out, and I think we are on the verge of doing like really, really big things across the U.S. We're still scaling it, trying to figure that out, right? Because most of our business is still done in Texas. We are working in other states. For the first time, we actually just worked on a project in California the other week, which I thought was fun. But that side is very good. There's a lot of interest in it. It's a great inflation fighter. Returns are still very good. Good tenant retention, good tenant velocity. I mean, there's so much good about the small bay side. I can't say really anything bad about it. A lot of people getting into it. A lot of people coming from like self-storage, multifamily, big box. Like there's a lot of big players getting into it. And, we wrote that book last year. That thing, like I never would have thought, A, I never would have thought I'd have read a book, but B, nonetheless write one. And that thing's been huge for us. Absolutely huge for us.
What's it called?
Flex-based domination. So your Bible on your nightstand, flex-based domination right next to it. It's the best way to do it. But Austin and I wrote that book. It's been very good. We've gotten people from all across the U.S. that have bought it on Amazon and have reached out and asked questions, this and that. So I think that's going to continue to help our trajectory. But no, we're looking more ways to expand this asset class, continue to bring value to it, and to be the faces of it. And I think we're going to have a very good ride over the next 5 to 10 years.
What kind of cap rates do these trade at?
If you're talking Texas, I mean, depending on quality, 7.5.
Yeah. So
which
kind
is
of
pretty
like
good.
200 basis points higher than core industrial.
Yeah. And even, you got certain infill flex that will sell at significantly, less basis too, which I'm not a fan of the infill stuff because that stuff carries a lot more office component to it, a lot more TIs and things of that nature. I like the stuff in growing areas, right? Like McKinney, Anna, Melissa, places like that. That's where you can really get good year-over-year rent growth, lower TIs, less co-brokered deals. I think there's a lot more opportunity and a lot better returns to be made out there. But you do have a lot of those that are metal construction. And a lot of the big guys have trouble getting that in their mind, and because they all like the tilt wall, or the concrete tilt up. But I mean, you can look at the returns on those, cost of running and repairs and maintenance into some of the other stuff, and you'll see a big difference.
Are these dock high buildings?
No,
or
they're all grade level. Yeah, these tenants are like 2,000 feet. They ain't getting nothing off a truck, off of an 18-wheeler.
What do they do?
I mean, it can be anywhere from any contractor base, right? Your plumbers, electricians,
pool
guys, to, maybe some of the showroom guys, retail guys, fitness studios, sports tenants, any type of athletic business. I mean, it's a wide range of tenancy, but a lot of times it's kind of like, I'd kind of look at it as like the multifamily of industrial, right? Like a lot of tenants can be in these places.
Yeah.
A lot.
So whoever's buying them, they need to have a pretty good management plan in place. Because they're not hiring or do they hire like a big firm to manage them for them? Or
a lot don't, because they're a little more management intensive. And so but I mean, any firm can do it. I mean, they're very easy to manage. I mean, a lot of times they're still triple net leases too. So the tenants are taking care of a lot of things. It's really just kind of taking care of the grounds and day-to-day stuff. But they're not hugely management intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Where do you see the market going with this Trump economy that we're in right now?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just here to ride it. That's all.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I'm just here to ride it and figure it out. I think there's a lot of uncertainty out there right now, obviously, right? It seems that maybe quite a bit of it's kind of settling down for a little bit. It kind of felt like, hey, maybe we're going to World War III, maybe not. But it seems like a lot of things have settled down. You got the tariff stuff that's still getting sorted out. So this year could be still quite a toss-up, but like I said, our business is still doing really good. So we're just kind of staying focused on that, and hopefully everything else works out. But you got a lot of things out there, the retail sector, the office sector. I mean, there's a lot of areas that are taking hits and suffering, the residential, the multifamily. I mean, I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see. I think a rate cut would obviously help a little bit of everybody out, but you also don't want to impact inflation at the same time.
Yeah. Right on. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. Very interesting that you would say that, Cody.
I'm super interested in dominating small bay flex space.
Are you?
No, I think it would be a cool thing to own. Like if you can go get it on a 7.5 cap.
Yeah.
What size deals? Like $1 million to 10 million?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some $1 million deals out there. You can go get a
Yeah,
cap on.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you can find $2 million. I mean, I know a couple. We were across $2 million projects all the time. They're 7.5 to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are good because obviously they're a little easier management. But just with smaller tenant deals like that and smaller price point, I mean, just financing's usually a little easier if you're trying to if you're going to raise money on it. You're not having to raise as much. You only got to come to the table with 30, 35, 40% down, and you'll be off to the races pretty quickly.
Do you get asked a lot of times, like, tell me about your team structure by people?
Yeah.
I get asked that a lot.
Yeah.
Because we both have teams that are like real teams, right?
Yeah. Our guys have been together a long time.
So tell me the quick history on how you built the team and how many people are on it, and like how the tasks are divvied between the team members.
So we got a total of 5 people. Zoe's been with me the longest. She's been with me for probably 11 or 12 years. And she's kind of like an assistant operations manager, whatnot, kind of oversees everybody. Then you got Austin, who's been with me as far as like an agent goes the longest. And, I met him. He was doing some retail investment sales. And we just kind of clicked, obviously, really well. And I was like, man, I got to have this guy because I think that he can help me grow this thing into something unique and fun. And so he jumped on. Then I met Tran. He was working at another firm. He jumped on. We got Nick. We got Jacob as well. So everybody, all those guys are all agents, right? They're all kind of operating out, picking up business. We don't pool together, right? Like some teams will all work on something and then they all make money off of that. We don't do that. Everybody's pretty much, I'd say, pretty independent. So any of the guys can go work on something. They can go pick something up if they want, and they can do it on their own. I don't need any money off of it. I'm not here to take from them. I'm here to help them get better and to grow our name and our brand bigger, and that's all I really care about. And so they can do deals on their own. We do a lot together. So, like, for example, Austin may say, hey, I got an opportunity at this deal. We got to go pitch it. Can you come help me? And so we'll both go in there together because, I mean, when him and me or me and Tran or we all three go into a meeting, a lot of times I think that can be pretty powerful because back in the day when I first got started, it seemed a lot more of an independent business, right? Like when I went to go work for David Dunn, he would just go into a meeting all by himself. Yeah. And that's it. He didn't need to have 30 people standing behind him, Andy Elliott style hyping him up. I mean, but now it seems like people they like the team, even if it's kind of a facade, right? Like some of these big firms, will have teams and you're like, all right, this guy mainly does everything. And then all these other people are fairly new and will be replaced at some point in the near future, right? Yeah. But ours is pretty good. And, we can divvy up tasks as well. So like if we win this assignment, it's like, all right, Cody, you're going to go out and sell it to an investor database and try to generate as many offers as whatnot as possible. Once it goes under, then you pass it off. Austin's going to run it, keep it under contract, make sure everything's good, smooth sailing all the way to the end. So everything's a little bit different, but as far as the most part of our team, they operate very independently.
Yeah,
Because they should, I mean, I don't have the mental capacity to be babysitting people,
right?
And I wouldn't want to be babysat either. And so I think the best way for them to do stuff is and I tell them all the time, go make a mistake, go figure it out. There's nothing you can do that I think will throw us in jail. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Is what I tell them.
Yeah.
And I may be telling you this from a jail cell at some point in the future, but no, I'm just kidding. But I always tell them, there's no mistake because, none of them are liars or con men or anything. They're all good, well-grounded, good-centered people. And so they're not going to do anything that's unethical. I know that. Have
you spelled out the core values for your team?
We have a team creed that I don't recall what it is, but I know some of it. It's I'm a dominator. I will help achieve the team's goal. It was a long one that we made, and and
you collectively wrote it.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's written in our office, and we used to read it out every day, Pledge of Allegiance style. And I don't know why we stopped.
You need to get back to that.
Yeah, I think so. We enjoyed it too.
We do that with our core values and core operating principles. So whenever we have a team call, which during the summer months where we do it, we try to do it once a week, but then we ramp it up and when school starts back.
Yeah.
And but at the beginning of every meeting, it's James, what are the core values? And he says all 5. And then which one of these did you embody today? And he'll pick one. And then we have core operating principles, same thing. And somebody will say them and talk about which one they're embodying that day. We need to do core values. I think that would be a very good one. Because our team creed is a little long. Yeah. It's a little long. We have 5 core values and 7 core operating principles. So, and all y'all have them memorized. Yeah, everybody has them memorized. Our whole pitch deck is built around the core operating principles, and then we also have the core values peppered throughout there. So we talk about that a lot, and I find that that's a great way to bond with a prospect future client by going through all of those things and explaining how important it is and saying we all have this memorized. We all recite this every day. Any great leader of a company will respect that, I think. Yeah. But our team creed, I don't think any customer would care to hear our team creed because I know part of it's I can crush a man's skull with my bare hands. I can chew through metal. Can you? Do you think you could? Yeah, no, but I'm just saying I think they'd be if we said that team creed, they'd probably be sitting there we're just trying to figure out how we can get the highest amount of money here, Cody. That's probably over the top then for you. Yeah. But we're over the top on a lot of stuff. And so, but no, I think we'll write some core values later this week and I'll send them to you. It's fun to do. It's a great team building exercise. We made a list of let's say 30 different words that, values that we all liked. And then we narrowed it down to 5. And we did it back in the K-Rod days. It was K-Rod. Good old K-Rod. Zach Rutland and Cole and I did it and we still have the same ones from back then. And when we hired James, he was the first person that we hired after we created them. And we went through a really extensive interview process asking him about each of these core values and what he thinks. I like James. He's a good dude. He is, man. He's a machine. So do you track your guys' goals at all? Or do y'all collectively have goals because that's one thing that we do, I'll tell you, we do, I think really well that helps make our team a little more bonded, right? Because like Austin has certain goals and I go, okay, what we're going to do. And some of this is personal too, right? It's not all business because, business is just one part of your life, but we'll have certain goals and it's all right, Austin, I'm going to help you achieve these, but I need you to help me with some of mine. That's really cool. So, we'll do little things like that. So some of it can be like a fitness thing, right? Like one guy will be I want to lose, 10 or 15 pounds this year. And it's okay, well, I think what I'm going to do, since I like to exercise, maybe we'll do a bunch of stuff together.
and that'll help you out with that. But in lieu of that, I need your help to achieve this. And so we kind of barter those goals a little bit.
I like that. Yeah, we are pretty vocal about our goals and like what we're doing, but like James just did a triathlon and I'm doing 75 hard, and we talk about these things. Our team's more like I'm going to go do this, especially like James and I are like that. I was thinking Cole just like is the Zen master of the group, and he's always just like rolling, man.
Seems like he's always doing something too.
He's in good shape. Yeah. He's working out. He's working hard. As far as goals go, we're not good at that. The like unpredictability of our business kind of, because of that, I don't like to think about goals as much as I like to think about the processes. So we're super process driven, and it's like, are you sticking to the process? Are you not making mistakes? Like my goal is to not make mistakes and stick to the process for our whole team. And if we do that, then everything else will be good. And balance is just something I preach about on this podcast every week. Yeah. Whenever I'm speaking to them, like I'm talking to them about yoga, meditation. Like, I mean, we're all like super mental, physical, spiritual, health conscious team. And we're talking about these things really openly, family, of course, and sharing all of these personal things that we're achieving. And I think it's more like my priority is make sure everybody's like truly living a balanced life and everybody's working hard in that piece of the life pie and not fucking up. And, there was a financial analysis out of probably 50 that we have going right now, and probably like 1,000 we do a year, that there was a mistake on today. And I mean, when that happens, boom, I text. Something else we do is one of our core operating principles is operate with urgency. So that these are just processes we stick to. But if you're not texting me back within, let's say, 15 minutes, like, you're canned. You may as well make a mistake on a financial analysis. Like, I'm just going to realize it and call you out and like, this can't happen. Even when young people are calling me like about a job or they're interested in commercial real estate and they like are a 24-hour text backer, I'm like, go work at fucking McDonald's, bro.
That's
like
rough. Yeah.
That's not like, what are you thinking? Yeah. But these are all processes and stuff that like I really value. I clearly communicate this stuff every meeting that we have. And we all just like eat, sleep, breathe these core values, core operating principles, and stick to our processes. And then our culture is something that's really something that I think you need to have or you don't have. And we're going to know that before you join the team, or we're going to expect to. And then if you don't possess the core values and you fooled us, then I'm going to know pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And if you're like not in alignment, and if someone's not in alignment, it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like no hard feelings at all, but like it's sometimes not the right fit. Yeah. And even if the person may meet actually all the core values, but there might be something out of alignment. And like I parted ways with lots of people. One guy that we hired, like he wasn't cut out to be a broker, and he left.
And that's just life.
Totally.
There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And that's one thing that used to scare me a lot when I got started in the business, is because you're fully commissioned, and so I was always worried, like, what if I don't make it? What if I don't make any money in 6 months or 8 months, or what if I can't get it? And so like I always had these what ifs that would just drive me up a wall.
Yeah.
But I also think it helped drive me as a person as well, right? Because, I was just a kid that grew up in Grand Prairie that, nobody in my family had any money. And then you get thrown into a world where, pretty much everybody's a millionaire, it seems like. And so those things worried me quite a bit. But, I think that as far as the team goes, I mean, one thing that I really like doing is having a goal and then going, we can make a roadmap to get there. And so I love, like, if Austin or Trent comes to me and they're like, I want to achieve this. And it's, especially if it's something that I haven't done or don't think I can do, I love sitting there going, all right, let's research this and let's figure out how to get there. Yeah. And I know that maybe I haven't gotten there, but together I think we can. And so that's why I always tell them, like, I'm like, I can show you how to make the, money that I've made. I can't show you how to make more than that because I haven't done it myself. But together I think we can. And so it's just like, hey, I want to maybe have abs again or something like that. It's like, man, I haven't had those in 15 years.
I'd love some abs.
But I know what we have to do to get there.
I have giant abs that are beneath layers.
But I'm just saying, like, little things like that, like, or I want this item in life, or, I want to be able to do this. And so, but I like doing stuff like that to where we can sit down, write it down, and as long as we do the steps, we can make it happen.
What's your number one goal right now?
Mine is to really just become the face of small bay industrial across the U.S. and bring in as much business as possible to the guys and just really grow something that we own. And there's a lot of little spider webs that are coming off of this that we are entrenching onto into other stuff that's really, really good, whether it's development, ownership, other programs. I mean, and so I want us to really build something that is, Trent's got a word for it, where it's like kind of all encompassing. He's better with words than I am, but just
omnipresent.
No, just like you're building something that's like a one-stop everything that is, kind of like the go-to. So if you want to build a small bay or invest in it, we want to build a platform that covers everything that you want.
A one-stop shop.
Pretty much, yeah. He's got another word for it.
I want to know what it is.
I'm going to find out, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
It's like ladder or something. I don't know.
That's an exciting goal, man.
Yeah.
And I know you can do it, and you will do it.
Well, and what I like about it is it's very tough, and I could tell it's going to take a long time, so I won't be demotivated for a long time.
Yeah.
It's the little goals that demotivate me fast.
For sure. Yeah. Just that's such a great comment right there, is go big or go home when it comes to your goals.
Yeah. Because when I got in the business, you know what I always wanted when I first got in the business? I always wanted a Cadillac, right? Because this was 20 years ago when Cadillac was Cadillac, and never had one, never, really been around one. Like that was like the primo car. And I went to work for David Dunn. And he's like, man, he's like, I think that was an easy goal for him because he was already pretty wealthy. So he probably looked at that as like nothing. But he's like, man, if you go out and you pick up a bunch of lease listings and you start leasing, you'll make enough money to where you can buy, they're only $299 a month back then. It's like you'll be able to get you one. And so I did that. And then I finally got one, and it wasn't what I had dreamt of since I was a kid, unfortunately. And so then I was on to the next thing, to buy the next thing. And that's how I spent the first 10, 15 years of my real estate career, was buying the next thing that I thought would make you happy.
This is my problem with goals and why I don't really have goals. And I more have like these just kind of rules of living, because I have achieved lots of goals in my life, and I've experienced this level of letdown after all of them. And I mean, yeah, I'm proud of myself for doing what I said I'm going to do. But it's like, it doesn't solve all the world's problems. Like it's actually way simpler to solve all the world's problems. And it's make decisions that lead to peace instead of chaos in your life that you can control. And like thinking about that as my goal, I guess, is like choose peace over chaos. And when you have the fork in the road where I have the ability to choose, and which one am I going to choose? And I'm really looking at that and like finding the state of peace, because I talk about it a lot in the music industry. Like like winning a Grammy Award. I've won enough awards to know that even when you win a Grammy Award, after you win one, you want to win another one. You want to win a Super Bowl. Everybody wins a Super Bowl. You think they're happy after they win the Super Bowl? No, they want to win another Super Bowl. And it's like you accomplish one goal, you want to accomplish another, And it kind of, to me, is something that through yoga and meditation, I've realized like it's not about the goal, it's about the present moment. And like, how am I, like, what kind of person am I going to be? And then the kind of like the goal of that just become like when I'm doing that and I'm doing all the things that I'm telling myself that is bringing me peace over chaos, then it's like God delivers the abundance.
Yeah.
That's pretty, pretty out there though for some people.
Yeah. And, I think the issue that I have, and I'd always love to live that way if I could, and maybe I will be able to, but if I don't have like certain goals, like my motivation is very important to like just my mindset and everything around me. And so like, even when me and the guys go eat lunch together, or if we're on the boat together or whatever we're doing, it's always talking about how do we get better and improve and this and that, and how do we achieve these goals that we've set out. And so I can get demotivated
without your goals.
Yeah.
I think I can use a little bit more of that probably.
Yeah.
I think I've kind of gone a little too much in the other direction a bit, which I needed to do for me. But no, I can see the value in that. Because
when I used to compete in karate, I always had goals of becoming like a Texas state champion, right? And I never achieved that. I could win a bunch of little regional tournaments here and there. Those were always easy. But when you go fight the best of the best and you do katas against them, you do sparring against them, I always kind of fell short. And I had kind of lost some motivation in doing that. And then when I did that, man, I just fluttered out and, quit doing it altogether.
Have you ever read a book called The Secret?
Yeah.
I just finished reading that as part of my.
I saw the little movie on it actually. There's a little film on it.
I don't think I've seen that. I just read the book for the second time, and it's so good about manifesting things. Yeah, it's really great. You gotta believe it. You gotta write it out. I'm a big fan of printing it out and putting it in front of you, right? Yeah. And so I had done that a long time ago. I had always wanted a Dodge Viper. So I printed one out that a guy had on Craigslist for sale and had it sitting on my desk. And you got it? No, I had started making really good money. And when I went to go look at one to buy, I ended up getting a Corvette instead because it just seemed a little more practical and whatnot. So it just wasn't what I had thought it was going to be. But I think every kid's, goal is a Lambo or a Vet or a Viper. I love Dodge Vipers growing up. They were the greatest. They were so cool. You're putting just a V10 in a car. They have no traction control, no stability control, no anything whatsoever. And so that's one of the last raw American muscle cars that was made. I like Dodge Challengers. I think they look really cool. Yeah. And I just recently got one as a rent car, and I'm too big for it. Yeah, I had the Charger Scat Pack. So I've got the new Vet, and that's cool. But you'd have trouble getting in and out of that thing. What does that run? Their models probably run anywhere from 70 to 125,000. Yeah. They're not too bad, but I'll tell you, I'm 6'2", and it's a little tougher to get in and out. You'd have some struggles in there. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I've just got a Jeep. Yeah. But I got the muscle cars that I've built over time, and those I like a lot because those are something that I have time, effort, energy, my own personal work in it. And so I enjoy older cars more than newer age vehicles. Do you have a Jeep? No. Are you a fan? No, I don't duck people for a living. No. Do you have all the ducks on there? I have 4 ducks. It's really, I've been ducked by 4 people.
Yeah.
And randomly, like once at DFW airport, but you come to your car and, there's like a duck sitting on your door handle, and it's kind of a good feeling. I thought it was silly
What if you
at first.
go up there and somebody's trying to put down your door handle, and you think they're trying to get in the car, and you'll just start swinging on each other? I mean,
I'm not a fighter.
Well, no, it seems like it could seem like it could be a little dangerous walking around.
If you're doing it, you have to be really obvious about it, and like, this is a duck.
Not hiding it over here, but yeah,
not like like wearing an overcoat or something.
Yeah, Trent had a Jeep and he got ducked.
Yeah,
I don't understand what that means. I don't understand what it is, but I think it's a funny thing.
It's a funny thing.
Is that why you got it, to be a part of the ducking society?
I've rent Jeeps whenever I travel, and other than the one time I got the Challenger, I always ask for Jeeps, and I love driving them. And finally, last summer, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a Jeep, because I felt like it was not. I was driving a Tahoe, so I had a Tahoe.
No, you seem like a Jeep guy.
I got
top off. Kind of
yeah,
Jeep
dude.
guy.
Yeah, I have the push button top down thing on my Jeep, which is really nice. So it just goes right off the top.
And, nice.
But yeah, I enjoy it. It drives real. It's real torquey and
Yeah.
awesome going off road on it and stuff.
You look like a Jeep guy. A little Baja Jeep, top off. It kind of fits your style a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like I'm aligned with the Jeep.
Tahoe seems like you need a little cardigan or something, and go to the Byron Nelson Inn. That's kind of what the Tahoe is.
I think you're right.
In the real estate world.
Yeah. I'm a Jeep fan, so I carry ducks around in my car. So if we see another Jeep, my kids love to go duck the Jeep.
Yeah, just go shove in the exhaust tip or something.
No, on the driver's door handle.
I don't know the rules of it.
Yeah. Man, what else is going on? What else do you want to talk about today?
Man, I'll tell you, I think we've covered quite a bit of good stuff, from business to goals to life and moving on. And
team and health.
About to put in a little zen over here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I think we've covered quite a bit.
What a pleasure to have you here, Cody Payne.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I'm glad you had me over. We've become great friends.
Yeah.
And got to know you. I'd like to go to another concert with you guys sometimes.
Yeah, I just went to Josh Roy Walker in Fort Worth when he was performing out there. I got a table, and me and all the guys at the office went there, and we've seen him many times. And he did a fantastic job. It was actually his second show that day. Yeah. And I think I told you when I went up, because he came off the side and was at the little table, and you could buy a T-shirt and talk to him or whatever. And I went over there and I was talking to him for a minute, and I said, I said, we have a mutual friend, Ward Richmond. And he goes, yeah, you look like you would be friends with him. And I said, I don't think you knew what I said. I don't think you knew what I said, though.
What if he might have thought you were Steven Seagal?
Maybe. I doubt that. But he put on a fantastic show. Because I hadn't seen him since he had his chemotherapy.
Yeah, he is such a talented man. And I have a new album coming out, and he played guitar on several of the tracks.
Really?
Yeah. He's a shredding guitar player.
He's a hell of a guitar player.
He just rips it.
You know who surprised me big time? Do you know who Charlie Crockett is?
Yeah.
I went and saw him in Austin. You know who he is? Dude, he is a killer guitar player as well.
Oh, yeah.
And his sound, which is like old school country and blues, jazzy, a little bit mixed. Yeah, it's very unique. It's kind of like what Elvis had when he had kind of got started. It was kind of like gospel mixed with a little bit of. And Charlie Crockett, that sound, you don't hear that sound out of people today, right? You can go pull up stuff from like the 70s, right, what it sounds like, in some of the 80s, but he's got a very unique sound, and man, he's one hell of a guitar player and a great performer.
What? And he's just got style, right? Like he's got that.
He comes out with his dazzly, looks like Marty Robbins outfit on, like really good looking, but a very good performer, and all of his songs are really good, and so I like him a lot too.
Yeah, well, let's go to a show sometime.
Yeah, no, we'll find something.
Cody, thanks for making the trip to East Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, man. Trucking on out here.
For another episode of Trucking On. Peace, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.